Everybody, Max here, and today I'm going to be looking at the Action Force Sergeant Slaughter figure. I believe this is a Series 1, maybe 2 figure from Action Force. I am not a fan of Sergeant Slaughter. Please don't turn me off if you are a fan. He was introduced in the G.I. Joe cartoon. He was in a couple issues of G.I. Joe. I was into wrestling at the time, but just never quite a huge fan of Sergeant Slaughter. So uh, never really thought about getting any of the classified figures of Sergeant Slaughter or the Action Force Sergeant Slaughter. Please don't hate me. Please don't unsubscribe. I have nothing against the guy. I just wasn't a complete fan. But I heard some complaints of people online about Colonel Siege not looking like a military commander. So BBTS had this particular Sergeant Slaughter on sale, and I decided to grab him to do a little kit bashing to see what he looked like on. What he looked like on or the head looked like on the figure, and this is what he looks like with a little kit bashing and everything. But we will talk about the body and the head and all this kind of stuff. Is it Colonel Slaughter now, or is it Sergeant Siege? I don't know. Anyway, so that was kind of my thought. It's a good figure on a whole. Just wanted to kind of experiment a little bit. We're finally getting some variety, at least I am, in the Action Force line. I've got a lot of the female figures, a lot of the helmeted figures, not a lot of the named figures, and that from the original series and everything. So with Series 5, I've got a little more play. I can play around a little bit. So wanted to kind of do a little kit bashing, a little swapping out of the parts and everything. Now that you can finally do that, and the skin tone on Colonel Siege's head and the skin tone on Sergeant Slaughter's body is fairly close. All the pegs work. As they're designed. So between, yes, there's like 3 or 4 series away, but they still interact. They still peg in the way they're supposed to. No issues there. So, but I'll go over the accessories as I normally do. I don't have him on with his signature sunglasses because they don't work. They don't fit on there very well. So I know he was quite often depicted with these, but they just don't stay on. So there's no track or anything or port to put these in on the side of his head, and handy tack would look kind of stupid. So I'm just going to leave them off. He comes with the typical Action Force cupping hands, the 2 fists, trigger finger hands. So he is using Colonel Siege's trigger finger hand on that one, staying true to that particular body. So it comes with your standard trigger finger hands. And then he comes with a pair of C-grip hands. And of course, it's an older Action Force figure, so he has the older metal grating Action Force stand, which I'm a fan of. I miss the box. I would love to see the box return. I like the Action Force figures that came in a box. I picked up a few, was able to find a few when I got into Action Force about this time last year, maybe about 12, 14 months ago. And a Warpath Eclipse, Condor, Rollout, a few others. And so I would love to see this particular box style come back and not the blister card. Nothing against the blister card. It's just this is my preference. So so there's a box. Pretty good artwork for the Sarge. Let's see, what is he? Sergeant Slaughter. Oh, no, he's Series 1 6 figure. Yeah, that's right. I didn't notice that. So this is a Series 1 figure. And then he has, duh. I guess I should have been paying attention. I've had him for a little bit. I've been busy with life and everything, so I haven't really looked at him for a while, but in a few weeks. So yeah, he's Series 1. Got the file card there, which is really cool if you want to pause the video and read that. I would love to get the Series 1 Condor and Carrick. That would be awesome if they were released. I have the series or second version of Bone Collector, so I'm good. That Bone Collector's nice. So, and one of the original Steel Brigades would be cool. I'm not so much into the Swarm Troopers or anything, but I know we've got probably new Steel Brigade figures coming out. I've seen a couple of pictures. I think ZoloCon, I think that's what's coming up, and they're going to be like convention exclusives. But you know how Bobby Vela is. They'll probably pop up on the website after a few conventions to stave off and fight against the scalpers. And, you know, I'm not. I might buy one just to see what it's like. It's not exactly wowing me, so but I wouldn't mind having one of these original Steel Brigades if they were ever re-released. So yeah. So there's the box, Series 1 6-figure Action Force. Oh, he has 2 action points too. So there's that. Okay, so we've gone over the hands. Let's look at the head. Oh, and he comes with this one, he points. He has a pointer finger, so, and it fits just well, just fine into this this new arm, which is great. I'm glad that they kept everything the same. You know, the dimensions of all the pegs the same. Yeah, Series 5 has been plagued a little bit by loose pegs, particularly Senshi. Haven't really had a problem with Colonel Siege here, the body. So, but just to show that, you know, this stuff does fit, and hey, you know, this is why I think Bobby Vela designed everything the same way so that we could do this. So it's great that I'm finally able to kind of really effectively swap out unmasked heads with things. And so pretty good head sculpt, I got to say. I kind of felt like the cartoon, the later episodes, later seasons of the cartoon of G.I. Joe kind of emphasized the Sarge a little too much. I mean, hey, I hope the guy made a fortune off of it. And but I got to say that he's a big muscular guy, right? And so this particular body doesn't really fit him. I mean, it's the standard Action Force Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4 body that we've seen. We've seen these arms countless times. We've seen this torso with a covert ops condor, these legs, these boots. You know, he has some unique weapons, but I gotta say, I mean, I like this figure overall as Colonel Siege, but because it's thicker, this is meant to be a puffy all-weather jacket or winter jacket. It kind of fits, kind of gives there's more muscularity to it, and so thicker legs, thicker arms, and because I mean, you look at the classified Sergeant Slaughter, and he's huge. I mean, he's like as big as Roadblock just about. So it's really cool that, okay, so I did swap out the head and put it onto Atlas, and it doesn't look good. The scale is wrong. His head's too small. So, and I think I have Atlas right around here. So let me grab Atlas just to show. I've been telling, let's show. So here he is on the Atlas body, and it just doesn't work. Atlas is you can tell he's got a bigger head than the Sarge here. It would be awesome if you're a Sergeant fan. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing, maybe this is something Bobby Vela ought to do is, redesign the Sarge, his head at a larger scale, and then just sell that, just as an individual piece so that you can put it on the Atlas body. And since he's so big and muscular, and he's already got a black t-shirt on, he was, it's not the black tank top that we're used to, but yeah, that might satisfy a lot of Sergeant Slaughter fans. So that'd be kind of cool if he ever did that. So there's Atlas. Be cool. Well, we're good to see Atlas again. So, of course, he has his hat. Yeah, let me get his head back on. And there's a little wobble with the head. Well, it does what it's supposed to. It's not bad. And then his drill instructor hat. And it actually kind of works. The green doesn't quite match, but it's close. So yeah, I may display him like this for quite a while. But like I said, the main reason I got this body in the first place was to kind of give Colonel Siege a different look. And I got to say, I really dig it. It's the camo pants, the green of the jacket, the black tank top and everything. And like I said, other than some glossy, the plastic is glossy. The skin tone matches fairly close, and I'm rather pleased with it. And I really like this honking big revolver he has here, and this big old Bowie knife that's pretty awesome, and pegs in very well. Let's see, I think it goes in backwards. Yep, and this is it's a little flexibility. It has a little flexibility, but it's not rigid, and it's actually kind of got a pretty sharp point. So be careful, kiddos. And I do like this kind of quick release holster, this little snap-in holster. That's pretty sweet. I think that's a really nice touch. And I don't think we've seen this gun in different weapons packs, but we haven't seen this holster system on anything else, I don't think. At least I don't have it. But the figure itself is pretty solid. There's a little looseness in this butterfly joint. But on a whole, it is a good base body that you can toy around with. It's a little loose in this leg and a little loose in the torso cut, but he goes forward fairly far, and it's the old school neck system, so it's not a free floating neck, which I'm actually kind of fine with. So and it's a disc cane, so he looks up, looks down. Like I said, he's got the jacket kind of cuts into the range of motion of the butterfly joint, but it's not too bad. I wish the plastic was a little less rigid and thick. I wish it was thinner or just at least softer, so it had a little more pliability to it. But it's kind of sculpted in kind of a, action-y kind of way, like it's flaring out some, and then it has a generous cut for if you wanted to put a backpack on. And, pinless joints and everything. Like I said, we've seen these arms with tons of other figures, and so there's really nothing new here. These hands are not, I didn't use any of Sarge's hands. These are from the weapon pack or hand pack alpha. I decided to swap those out, and they fit better. I wanted to go with like a black glove. Yes, the Colonel Siege's hands would fit in there, but I thought, let's go with, just as much black covering. I don't know, just it gives it a nice look to it. And let's see, so really good side to side range of motion there. The guns and the knife kind of get in the way of the jacket, or the jacket knocks them around a bit, but it's pretty solid. Once you get him into the pose you want, he kind of stays the where you want him to do. So there's probably need to take him apart and maybe do a little tweaking. But it was on sale for like $19.19 on BBTS. So if you don't have this guy and you want a Series 1 figure, and you want to have something that's good fodder for kit bashing and customization, so pretty good T-pose. Yeah, he goes that far. Good bicep swivel. Plastic's pretty good. I was careful with this guy since he's Series 1. I remember hearing how Series 1 had some problems with the plastic and it breaking and everything, and I think I might have actually heated him up just to be safe. But there's a little looseness in this particular hip. He doesn't have drop-down hips, which I'm fine with. Pretty tight hip joint, or hip thigh swivel. Gosh, can just getting the names wrong. And very stiff legs, and the holster kind of gets in the way, so he kicks back that far, but pinless, as I probably mentioned already. And then typical boot swivel, and pretty good range of motion on the boots. Stuff that we're used to if you have been collecting a 1/6 scale military figure, either classified or Action Force or that sort of thing. Let's see, is there anything? The paint camo is really good. It's a kind of this OD green with a lighter green camo pattern over it, and it's pretty solid. Lots of detail on the boots. It's just solid black plastic, solid green, very well designed, I think. And let's see. Oh, and something else that I've kind of been toying around with. is since I had that bad recon trooper, I've got extra masked heads from that. So he kind of comes across. You can have him as Colonel Siege in a more military style, or you can this is covert ops Colonel Siege, or maybe it's just some kind of random terrorist dude, that you can have him be a bad guy, and he's trying to sneak up on Sarge. But at any rate, it's pretty cool. I'm glad to have him. Glad I bought him. And I think, if you're a Sergeant Slaughter fan, this might actually be the better body for him. So, hey, you can breathe life into a new life into an old character. And also, and I'm sure people who have also complained about, surely you've already tried this, but if you want a more military style look, you can put Colonel Siege's extra head on a Desert Steel Brigade figure. I really actually quite like these figures, and definitely like the desert ones. I have a couple of Arctic ones. I haven't opened them yet, but I wish I could have gotten the urban ones. That would have been pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe I'll take the Arctic ones and dye them blue. Well, who knows? But yeah. So anyway, that's Sergeant Slaughter-ish. Colonel Siege Revisited. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Is this something that you have already done before, or maybe you'll be interested in doing now? All right, guys, I'm going to give the figure and everything, I'm going to give him a warp factor of 8.5. He's not perfect, but I like the modularity. I don't know, it actually just kind of works better. I just kind of like Colonel Siege. When I put his head on here, it's like I get a Nick Fury vibe. And even though he doesn't have an eye patch, but he's got, put his cigar, all he needs is an eye patch, and you get kind of a goateed Nick Fury. So I'm kind of getting that vibe. Yeah. And then he's joining the troops on the Steel Brigade on a desert mission. So, yep, that's a great leader. He leads from the front lines. So, okay. And then you got a Sergeant Slaughter. He's joined Action Force, and he's training the troops. So, all righty, drop and give me 50, or 100, or 1,000. Yeah, I'd be lucky if I could do 50. All right, guys. Warp factor of 8.5, I think, is what I said. Hope you liked the video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.